Welcome back to TNP Limitless 5, Episode 9. I have been a bit of a busy guy in between episodes, not only working on some farming stuff over here, but a whole lot of building stuff going on behind me. And we'll be getting to that in just a moment, but for the time being, I want to talk to you guys about the engineering updates over here. As y'all know, in the last episode, we put together this cool little garden cloche farming setup via Immersive Engineering, and oh boy, has it been producing a whole lot of items. I've been expanding our power capabilities. You might remember from the last episode that these 3 water wheels here were not nearly enough to power all 12 or 13 or whatever of our garden cloches. So I hit another water wheel back here. If we just break in real quick, you can see it's just the same old design with 3 water wheels. And yeah, that is powering the rest of our cloches, these bad boys right here, which I currently have set to just make bamboo because I was doing a good bit of smelting. I was smelting up a whole lot of bricks and whatnot for some projects going on over there, but one more thing real quick before we get to that, and it's not exactly something I really want to talk about necessarily, but I feel like it's kind of just important to mention given that we're 9 episodes into this series. So yeah, as I'm sure you guys know, I really enjoy making TNP Limitless 5 modded Minecraft videos for you guys. This is a really cool mod pack. I love spending time with Aether. I love making stuff in modded Minecraft. I love just kind of playing the game, exploring what Limitless 5 has to offer, and making episodes in the process. I mean, we've built some really cool stuff all around me here, but unfortunately, as some of my more astute viewers have probably been able to notice, these videos do terribly. I'm just gonna say it right here. These videos do not do well. And frankly, every time I post one of these videos, it's not very good for my channel. And I know that really sucks to hear. They don't get views, people don't watch for very long. Frankly, sometimes they even make me lose subscribers, which is concerning. But don't worry guys, I don't plan on stopping the series anytime soon. Regardless of what the YouTube algorithm thinks about these videos, I do still very much enjoy making them, and I plan on continuing to make them and building more cool things in this world. All I really want to ask from you guys, and this is coming from the bottom of my heart, is that if you're enjoying these videos, just do what you can to show your support, you know? Drop a like on the video if you haven't been already, subscribe if you're not subscribed already, and maybe if you know somebody that might enjoy this series, just, you know, send them a link. New eyes on these videos, especially people who are liking and subscribing and watching through to the end, really is going to make all the difference for how long I continue to make this series. And trust me, I really want to, but of course, if it's going to be impacting the long-term health of my YouTube channel, I kind of have to have some second thoughts, you know? And I'm really sorry to say that, but that's just how it is. I've been quite the busy guy, as you can see behind me here. We got some roads, we got some buildings. Let's go take a look. Following this still in progress pathway down from our giant factory over here, we can see it takes a turn over to what is an in progress industrial town. Let's take a little bit of a bird's eye view up here. Got kind of a bit of like a main street crossroads in progress. We got the outlines of some buildings. We've of course got our engineering setup going on over here, and we've got quite a few buildings in progress. They're really just facades for the time being, but I really like how they're turning out. The idea here is that I want to make a whole industrial town. I'm trying to make it in the design of like an old historical main street, maybe from like an old rundown industrial American town that has probably been seeing better days, but there's a really nice kind of quaint, walkable charm to these kinds of old school historical main street districts that I want to replicate in this Minecraft world. So we got a bit of a town square in progress here, using a lot of different deep slate slabs for the road, using some gray concrete for the sidewalk areas, and I've got a few different facades going up here for different kinds of buildings, using some pretty exotic materials, like of course we got some vanilla stuff right here with the brick and the terracotta and whatnot, all different kinds of chiseled dripstone, which is this lovely texture texture over here. Behind us on the other side, using a lot of copper and warped wood for kind of a cyan, teal kind of look. Different kinds of calcite for this very cool kind of windowed interior here. And we're even using some granite, different cut and polished granite textures like these cut granite bricks, these cut granite and whatnot for this kind of second story over here. And these are not your normal vanilla bricks, these are clinker bricks from Engineers Decor, which look pretty fantastic. So yeah, this is definitely going to be a building focused episode. I'm not entirely sure yet if Aether is going to be hopping on here, but I want to build up this whole industrial town square. I want to connect it up to our big factory building, which is very much a work in progress. I want to add more buildings, I want to add more life and detail, and it's really coming along super well so far. I'm very proud of how it's looking. So I'm going to go ahead and take some time to get that going, and I'll meet up with you guys in just a little while. All right, it's a few days later in real life. I've been putting in the grind. I mean, I've also been kind of busy in real life, just, you know, a lot of stuff came up. While I've had the time to play some Minecraft, I have been working away at the build, putting in the hours, and it is coming along very, very well. But before I show you what I've been up to, I got a little bit of a story to tell you guys. Something strange that happened to me on camera a few days ago that I definitely have to tell you guys about. So as you guys can imagine, while I'm working on these large building projects, I spend a lot of time doing resource gathering off camera. In particular, this time around, I've needed a whole lot of clay, granite, and andesite, and calcite, and all that lovely stuff. And while I was doing my usual resource gathering, I stumbled across something very bizarre indeed. I came across this like bare wall of deep slate tiles. It was just in the middle of a cave, and just like I break through and I find this massive library, and it's filled with these like undead acolyte like graveyard mobs from the mod The Graveyard. But oh my god, this place was massive. Like I'm looking around, there's all these weird decorative items, you know, we got like, of course, vanilla brewing stands, we got skeletons and mob spawners, and this whole like labyrinth of different kinds of deep slate and chandeliers and candles and end crystals for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why, but oh my god, there was so much loot. Like all of these sarcophaguses, like each one of them contained tons of gunpowder and wood and other important things I don't quite remember off the top of my head, but there are so many little passages and chambers, and this entire place must have been huge. Like seriously, just the video doesn't capture it well, but seriously, this place was massive, and I was genuinely shocked by how big this thing was. Like it was just sitting there. It was just sitting right in the middle of nowhere with all this loot, all these really valuable items like dark iron bars. I use those all the time. There is some copper. There is so many different variations of deep slate that I could just pick and choose from. It was phenomenal. So I had a blast looting this place. I didn't even get through close to all of it because like I had to get back to my build. I was just out here resource gathering and I'm just getting really distracted. But as I'm working my way through here, I'm like vein mining the walls and whatnot and just completely just tearing myself through this place. It was an absolute blast. It really just goes to show you guys that there's always something else to find in this mod pack. It's actually insane. Like I know we got 540 plus mods in this mod pack, and I know that's a very big number, but to be honest, the true scale of it all doesn't really like hit you until you just go out into the world and you're constantly finding new things. Like there's so many structures, so many ores, so many blocks out there. I cannot even begin to fathom the amount of generated structures that are out there in this mod pack. Truly, it is limitless. But speaking of limitless, let's go take a look at all the new stuff in this town. Coming on down this pathway once again. Oh wow, there's people here. Hold on a second. This place is shaping up. I mean, check out what we got here. I've been working on an elaborate town hall building, which is taking up most of this corner. We got a second level in progress up here as well. Got some funny little storage devices over here, kind of like vaults or whatnot. Working on some other little details over here. Got a little shack. Got this funny little gray and green building in progress. Still really just a facade, but you can see how all of the buildings on this side here are holding up this large complex up here, which is mostly apartments. Really putting in work on the clinker brick structure over here. Definitely going to be adding more of these, and of course the roads have expanded quite a bit. We've got the sidewalks running everywhere. We've got the street running everywhere. We've got lots of block variety and detail all over the place. So speaking of block variety and detail, I figured it would be kind of fun if we went through this place building by building and just looked at all the different mods, all the different custom blocks that are being used to make this little section of town here, just to give y'all an idea, just a glimpse into how many different mod packs I am juggling to put this thing together. Let's take a look. But first, we sleep. Of course, we got some vanilla deep slate slabs here, but we're using a whole lot of blocks from Create. We got the cut deep slate slab and polished cut deep slate slab from Create. I'm definitely using a lot of Create blocks here, as well as blocks from the chipped mod. For example, these sidewalks are actually almost entirely light gray concrete. You can see this variety and this kind of brick variety, throwing in a little bit of cut tough from Create and some rocky stone from the Biomes You Go. It's a really lovely blend between stone and cobblestone. Over here, we're using a lot of calcite bricks from Quark, as well as some cut calcite from Create, and of course some vanilla stuff, like we got some regular vanilla calcite in here as well. 3 entirely different mods all working together just to make this little bit of calcite right here, and that's not even including the quartz trapdoors from Absent by Design, the cool chiseled diorite from Builder's Delight, the copper lantern from Supplementaries, the special tinted glass from mob grinding utils. Up here in this kind of apartment building kind of thing, we got some black rain gutter bases from Macaw's roofs, which look like excellent little kind of borders for the bottoms of these windows. They go really well with these soapstone brick slabs from the Biomes You'll Go and the dark iron trapdoors from the graveyard. All of these glass blocks are vanilla, I believe, but we got some cut granite, we got some cut granite bricks, both from Create here. Moving on over to the cyan building, we've got some more Quark stuff in the vertical slabs of the oxidized cut copper, warp stairs from Builder's Delight, and even more Supplementaries lanterns. This funny little gray and green structure is of course using a lot of vanilla blocks. You know, we got some mossy stone bricks and some waxed weathered cut copper, but we've got some copper bars from Everything is Copper. Got some mossy cobblestone bricks and cobblestone bricks from Quark. A little bit of a high contrast texture, but I really like how they look. Up at the top here and primarily across the street, we're using a whole ton of dripstone blocks. We even got some regular old vanilla dripstone hanging around in there as well. The clinker building is using clinker bricks from Engineer's Decor, as well as this town hall over here using a whole lot of clinker bricks. Diorite parapets from Macaw's windows, kind of used as like window frame bars or whatever for these large windows. We got more of those rain gutters here as well. We've got some statues holding copper swords from Supplementaries. We've got more of those copper lanterns. We got wax copper trapdoors from Everything is Copper. We've got some cool granite chains from additional lanterns. Got some Create shafts in here. We got some funky little stone bricks from Builder's Delight. We got some cool lights from Simply Light. We got this insane 3x3 vault door. Don't look at the inside there. From Many Ideas Doors. Funky little netherite door from Supplementaries. Slag brick blocks also from Engineer's Decor. And last but definitely not least, we've got these different workbenches here. The masonry table from the chipped mod and this sawmill from Corel Woodcutter. To be honest, I don't really use that thing too much, but it's really, really useful. And not to mention the chisel from Rechiseled and the iron chisel from Builder's Delight. And these are just aesthetic mods, right? Like, I'm not using any of these for the functionality. All the functional stuff is like this stuff over here from like Immersive Engineering and pipes and expanded storage and what is this, mechanism and other stuff. This is absolutely insane, folks. This is why they call it Limitless 5, because oh my god, you will be driven insane by the choice paralysis here. Anyways, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed my funny little rant about all these different blocks. Even though it sounds like I'm struggling here, and to some extent I am having a fantastic time putting all this together. It's definitely a slow going process, but just looking at the level of detail and quality we're putting into this build here makes it completely worthwhile. So give me a little bit longer to get some more buildings going on here. I'm really hoping to finish this little industrial town by the end of the episode, at least putting down the basic structures. So bear with me, I'll be right back in just a moment. The grind has been continuing, and oh my gosh, I have been doing so much building. It's absolutely ridiculous what has gotten done here. I'm really excited to show you guys everything that I've been working on, but before we get to that, let me give you guys a bit of a tour of the town. Yeah, this place is absolutely bonkers, and if we go ahead and fly up here, you can really see how everything is coming together. This is a large project, and it is not going to be done in one episode. But if we take a look at some of these roofs here, I've really been, slapping on some ceilings and putting in some good work on the tops here, making things look a little bit less unfinished. And of course, there's the two elephants in the room, which is this large building right here, and what I've been doing over back yonder with the little Immersive Engineering factory. I am really proud of how this one turned out. It's supposed to be like an apartment complex, and obviously is still very much a work in progress. Yeah, we don't need to talk about that, do we? Really love how this design came out. Once again, sticking with our theme of like pre-automobile walkable cities, which is something I think is really fascinating. We're really paying attention to like the ground level detail here with the lights and the stairways up into the individual apartments, and even these cool little basement service entrances which lead to these doors, which admittedly also don't go anywhere. Moving on over this way, we've got this incredibly awesome looking door, which is a big pipe door, very similar to the vault door from over there across the street. But yeah, this one opens, and on the inside here, I've been putting in work on our little factory, and I've been doing a lot of work on the walls here. We've got a bit of like a black foundation to go with the white concrete foundation around this section of the building. And if we zoom on over here, we can see that I've kind of split it into two separate buildings. I'm making this one right here that's kind of L-shaped building right here, which is going to be housing our cloches, and then this smaller, like roughly square building, which is going to be housing other immersive engineering stuff when we get around to it. I'm using a whole lot of slag bricks, which I think are really cool. They're very dull, they're very gritty looking. Definitely going to be ruining up this place a little bit more. It's definitely not quite as ruined to the same standard as the other buildings in this town. I got some cool little details on the windows here, kind of like industrial bars on both sides, and let me show you something funny real quick. These cool little decorative blocks I've been using on the outside the windows are called parapets. You can see birch plank parapet, right? If we open up JEI and search parapet, you can see there's the two on the right here. There's prismarine and blackstone, and this might just be an issue with the mod pack, but this one is prismarine and this one is blackstone. Guess Macaw got a little bit mixed up here with the parapets, but it actually meant that I had to go out and find prismarine bricks in order to make my blackstone parapets, which is a little bit funny. I scoured the ocean for prismarine and ransacked the entire place, but yeah, we got our prismarine now. It's all good. So yeah, a combination of the blackstone quote-unquote prismarine parapets here and some black rain gutter bases. Going to be throwing in a little bit of concrete here with these slag brick blocks because I think they kind of blend together very nicely. This kind of looks like the grout. Maybe even a little bit of light gray terracotta. Now that I'm looking at it, this grout color is very similar to light gray terracotta. Yeah, that actually looks really good. I might go ahead and replace this concrete with the light gray terracotta as kind of detail and texture variety for this building. Also, because I'm already using a whole lot of concrete over in this section, this building is kind of coming together. I got a little bit of a facade on this side right next to our storage system. We've got this whole road that comes down this way, and it kind of takes a bend here, and you can see we've really got this kind of wall developing here with a lot of this like sheet metal plating and rusty sheet metal and that kind of stuff. It's a whole lot of gray and light gray, so I know there's not very much texture contrast. It's definitely pretty drab right about now, but once again, everything is still a work in progress. There is still so much to do here for the interiors, the roofs. Want to add more buildings as well. This entire project is just absolutely massive, so it's been a hell of a grind, and if you appreciate the work I've been putting into this project up until this point, don't forget to leave a like on the video. And with that being said, I think we're gonna go ahead and end things here. This has been Leon, and I'll see you all in the next TNP Limitless 5 modded Minecraft video.